What's up guys? Welcome to AnimeKouhai. If you'd like to help me out, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel.
There seems to have been a definite pecking order formed, though I'm not sure what exactly transpired between them.
It is improper for a wife to irritate Benimaru-sama in this way. Please take both of us at once. I don't want you to pick between Alvis-san or me.
Wait a minute, that's not how things work.
It's alright. Benimaru-sama's caliber won't be an issue. Momiji-sama and I agreed after talking about it.
What kind of a conclusion is that? Please say no. Benimaru was pleading for my assistance as he looked at me. Well, I'm also perplexed. I don't believe I can assist him that quickly.
Answer. Polygamy is legal in the Jura Tempest Federation as of right now for the sole purpose of procreation, but only widows who want to have kids are eligible. The second wife in this situation would not be permitted.
Oh, that's correct. I have the strange impression that Wisdom King Raphael-san is actively working with me, and as a result, I am able to assist Benimaru.
Unfortunately, Alvis-san, only a widow who wants to have a kid is eligible to become a second wife in our nation. There is a chance that the law will be altered in the future, but for the time being, we are unable to allow it.
I made an effort to decline Alvis' request out of regret. Benimaru sighed in relief, yet it would be erroneous to assume that the story was over at this point.
Don't be concerned. I've been researching this nation's laws. In actuality, I recently got married.
What? She recently got married? With who? That being the case, it would be difficult for her to wed Benimaru. Although I had that impression, what Alvis stated next completely shocked me.
And tragically, my husband's death caused me to be separated from him. I am therefore eligible to become Benimaru-sama's second bride because I meet the requirements.
Huh? Wait a second, that's not related to the battle, is it? If so, there would be a serious issue. I felt dumb for being concerned about Alvis's argument.
Wait, what? Who was your husband that you married?
Alvis smiled and said,
That would be Phobio over there in the guest of honor area.
I assume you're still alive, Phobio-san. I was perplexed and turned to look at Benimaru.
What is happening?
I don't know. Thanks for asking.
But that.
We communicated simply by staring at each other. The telepathy net was not even necessary. Phobio approached us and bowed down while wearing an expression of regret.
I am so sorry. Alvis is speaking in such a self-righteous manner.
Not at all. You had a marriage? A more pressing question is, are you dead?
Regarding that.
And so the tale started. Alvis, Momiji, and Phobio gave me a detailed explanation of Alvis's strategy. So to speak. Through numerous arguments, Momiji and Alvis had grown close. Then, instead of fighting, Momiji and Alvis made the decision to take a different path and work together. What should they do to ensure that they both marry Benimaru? Alvis being married to Phobio was the solution they came up with. After getting married to Phobio, the couple would battle until one of them died in the labyrinth. After winning, Alvis declared herself a widow. Of course, Phobio was still alive, as they had only engaged in a single combat in the labyrinth.
She claimed she would marry me if I won. Can I now cry?
That being the case, Phobio agreed to the arrangement. I couldn't help but feel bad for Phobio because it was so pitiful to see him with his head bowed. I mean, in this circumstance, what should be done?
Rigord, is this even conceivable?
It is a pretty clear-cut and basic notion of power. This is what happens when you use knowledge and influence to achieve your goals. I think this is really fine.
I see. In accord with Rigurd's assertion, Rigurd, Rogurd, and Rugurd nodded. Seriously. The action taken by Alvis is positive in the perspective of a monster.
Brother, Alvis-sama and Momiji-sama have thus far demonstrated their tenacity. Please respond to them in a manly manner.
Was Shuna on board with Alvis' plan as well? Shuna wasn't the only one, though.
If you don't like it, let them know. Similarly, if something concerns you, let them know that as well. What is there to be concerned about?
Shion presented a decent point despite the fact that she didn't appear to be giving it much thought. She appears to be asking them to respond but does not appear to be opposed to Benimaru adopting two brides. Unexpectedly, there aren't any protests. No one seemed to think that this is immoral or dirty. The rule of the monsters is, in fact, survival of the fittest. The principles I have established are the only restrictions. The strong takes everything. I believe it's acceptable to accept this if they want it and no one objects.
Benimaru, how much longer are you going to worry about this? If you continue to be so unsure, your father will make fun of you in the hereafter.
Zoe, you can say what you want, but my father solely loved my mother, and he was the one who gave birth to Shuna and me. Why is it wrong for me to aspire to his status?
Benimaru appears particularly angry, probably as a result of Soe's remarks hurting his ears. Soe didn't budge, though.
I never said it was horrible. Why don't you just have kids if you seem to doubt your love? A man and a woman cannot conceive if they do not love one another. Just say no right away if you don't feel anything for them. But why don't you just embrace them and show them the outcome if you have even the slightest feelings for them?
You're being too direct, Soe-san. I detested the fact that it was so nice on him despite the fact that it seemed like brutal sexual harassment. And the creatures seemed to understand the argument. I forgot that love is necessary for a child to be born. Benimaru is worried because he believes that to love both of them at once would be unfaithful. Additionally, the one who is left out would feel regret if they choose one over the other. He has been holding off on responding because of this. That mindset wasn't anything I found repulsive. However, in this instance, all of the issues would be resolved if we demonstrated the outcome as Soe claims.
Let's see who can conceive Benimaru-sama's child first, Alvis-san.
I'm not going down, Momiji-sama. My love is sincere. The only thing left to do is win over Benimaru-sama's love.
That was the most difficult aspect, in my opinion, but they don't seem to care. Everything depended on Benimaru's heart.
We are currently having a celebration, Benimaru. It serves as a memorial to your actions. So long as you answer me honestly, I'll accept your entire selfishness. Do you intend to react to Momiji and Alvis' courtship? What's the one?
We shall stop talking about it if Benimaru doesn't like it. And if not.
Momiji, Alvis, I might not be able to stand by your side forever as the samurai general, defending Rimuru-sama, but are you really going to pick me?
Benimaru remained sincere throughout. He was anxious about what was ahead. Benimaru will transform into a divine Oni after he has no more regrets about having kids. After that, he won't have a lifespan anymore, and a moment will come when he will be permanently cut off from Momiji and Alvis. No doubt. He will be the only one to evolve, leaving his two wives behind. It was a little abrupt to request an answer in this circumstance. Even I would find it difficult to witness my loved one leave me before I do, even though I don't feel it yet. I'm not referring to a single friend, but rather to all of my friends in general. I could see why Benimaru was worried, and I also considered how Momiji and Alvis would be impacted, but my worries were unjustified.
Not at all a problem. I'll evolve in some way after I raise my kids.
I'm with you. And even if evolution is not conceivable, my kids will cheer you up when you're down.
Women are really powerful. These two displayed their tenacity as though unaffected. Benimaru grinned brightly after hearing their response.
Rimuru-sama, would it be okay if I took 2 wives?
Here, I was unable and unwilling to refuse, although it would be unfair to allow them to do so if they perform well, as they have in this instance. It might give them hope and motivate them to put in more effort. It was deemed acceptable by me. Benimaru is a good-hearted person who puts on a tough exterior. He would have remained single forever if I had left him alone, so I saw this as a good opportunity for him. If there is anything to worry about, it's whether Benimaru could love both Momiji and Alvis at the same time, but I think he'll be able to get through it. And I'll support him too. I sprung from my chair and transformed into human form. Then I yelled out loud.
Permission given. I authorize the merging of souls for Benimaru, Momiji, and Alvis in my name.
Marriage is like the joining of 2 souls in the case of monsters. The fact that no kid can be born without love makes it clear. It is legitimate to refer to it as the merging of souls because of this. Benimaru's mouth curved into a smile at my declaration. He was still holding Momiji and Alvis in his arms, his chest arched, and his face was stained scarlet with delight.
I'm grateful. They can both count on my love and my integrity.
After hearing Benimaru's outstanding speech, Momiji and Alvis sobbed with excitement. They appeared to be too emotional to speak. To be honest, I'm jealous of Benimaru. They were certainly a flower in each hand, a lovely girl and a lovely woman. But the shy Benimaru will likely find it challenging going forward, I suppose. I guess I can't speak for everyone either. Since I'm asexual, it's pointless to consider it in my situation. There were thunderous applause for Benimaru's remarks in the Colosseum. Shion was proudly clapping as Shuna was gleefully congratulating her brother. Naturally, in addition to the congrats, I also overheard some words of jealousy and resentment, but even so, hearing those voices at all was a blessing. Thus, amidst the cheers of the attendees of this celebratory occasion, Momiji, Alvis, and Benimaru were enjoying themselves. We were in the thick of the celebration, and although I would have liked to continue it, I felt that the evolutionary rituals should come first. Let's simply declare it right away and then slowly hold Benimaru's wedding ceremony when this evolutionary ritual known as the victory celebration has ended. Today was supposed to be another dinner, but the more the merrier. Therefore, the celebration event took precedence for the time being. I ordered Shuna to only make the arrangements while letting the jubilant Benimaru and his friends move back. When I raised my hand, the constant applause abruptly stopped. Yes, it was an unexpected occurrence. In the corner of my eye, I noticed Gobua sobbing, and Phobio was consoling him for some reason, however there is no time for that right now. We made the decision to keep the party going. I transformed back into slime and sat down in the chair. Shuna's stately voice resounded in the hallway after seeing me, where the thrill had not yet subsided.
The 3 great corps commanders, please step up.
The first, second, and third corps commanders are the 3 corps commanders. Gobta, Geld, and Gabble all knelt down in front of me. With Gobta, let's begin.
You won't receive a reward, Gobta-kun.
Gobta was staring at me expectantly as I stated this to him.
What? That's awful. So why did you call me here, then?
That's an interesting question. Even though I'm not able to provide you a reward, I'll nevertheless give one privilege to you immediately in exchange.
A privilege?
Gobta won't develop if you give him your souls. Although he has talent, he is unqualified for the position. I thought about giving Gobta armor and weaponry, but I ultimately determined that he could not handle anything more than what I am currently providing him. He doesn't need any shoddy armor because he can magic wolf unification with Ranga in any case. I could give him money, but he wouldn't do anything with it. Additionally, the corps commanders are paid highly. He receives a sizable sum of money points each month, so he ought to be able to support himself well. We would have offered him a territory if he belonged to a human nation, but there is no land in our nation that can be ceded. This example was also useless because Gobta would not be able to govern, so I made the choice to give Gobta unique privileges. My words perplexed Gobta. I suppose he didn't get my meaning when I used the word privilege alone. I'll just give him the response after that.
You have the privilege of speaking to me in the same casual manner that you have up until now.
I grinned and said as much to Gobta, who continued to seem perplexed. There was a scream of cheers, or more accurately, cries of wrath, much louder than the one Benimaru had just received before Gobta could even understand what I had spoken. It was a cheer that was so audible that jealousy could not be concealed. Gobta was the target of frightened looks from Xian and Shuna as well. They displayed a strong sense of envy.
That's it for this video, guys. Thank you for always watching my videos and supporting my channel. Shout out to the new members of AnimeKouhai supporters: Homelike Drop, Fazli Topadar, Jared Bressler, 2345254, Judah Herrera, Pieter Midlowski, Theodore Sanchez, Oscar Jacobson, Pakor Nuntaari, Arad Dare. Thank you so much for helping out. I'll see you guys in the next video.